the heart of HPE Aruba Networking is Aruba Central. This is the flagship management product that manages both wired and wireless networks. And today, HPE Aruba Networking has announced new options to help deploy Aruba Central. This is the first time that virtual private cloud is available for regulated industries like financial organizations who want to have much more visible control and are often not quite so keen on the multi-tenant network as a service kind of solutions that are available through HPE Greenlake. And then thinking about government organizations and highly regulated government organizations that might need to have compliance with security regulations like FIPS 140-2, well, there's a new option for this as well, sitting on top of certified hardware. Tom, is Aruba going for global domination with this new portfolio?
I think where they're at is that they've reached a very wide swath of the industry that can use SaaS on Greenlake, or they can use the network as a service model. And they've realized that there are some people who are just never going to migrate to the cloud. So they need to have an offering that allows them to work with these regulated industries, right? The FIPS 140-2 is a no-brainer, right? Like everything that has to work with the federal government has to be FIPS 140-2 certified in order for that to happen. And that goes for all the management as well. This is literally just, one more thing on the checkbox. It runs on-prem, which is where a lot of Aruba Central deployments work. This is just a way to make sure that they're probably staying ahead of some pending government regulation. Like it must meet this, it shall do this. You've read the RFC, you know what that is. The VPC deployment option really is financial, right? Like these systems have to be segmented off from everything in order to meet, PCI DSS compliance, or to deal with Sarbanes-Oxley, or, just random. You could just make up words at this point, like the old login passwords for AOL CDs, and someone will be like, oh yeah, that's a regulation that we have to follow, because they're very scared of what will happen if they start operating and they don't meet those requirements. Now, most people out there will probably be like, rules are rules. I don't care. What happens if one of them gets broken? Well, what they do is they figure out when you broke the rule. And it's usually not yesterday. It's usually 3 years ago. And when they realize that you broke the rule 3 years ago, everything that you've done from that point forward that infringes upon the rule, you get fined for retroactively back to 3 years ago. That's why these fines are usually not, minuscule amounts. You're not paying a parking ticket. You're paying for a parking lot. Like that's how big this is, millions of dollars. And when you think about the regulations, not just here, but in other places, because as bad as Sarbanes-Oxley is, as bad as PCI DSS is, brother, GDPR will give you heartburn. And that is one of those ones where the EU put massive amount of teeth in that regulation. I mean, they can fine you percentages of your recurring revenue. That's what they want to do. They want to discourage this behavior. So I think that this is actually a really smart move by HPE, and specifically HPE Aruba Networking, to get in front of these regulatory changes so that they can be ensured that Central is the flagship product that can take care of this. Because if you think about the pending acquisition of Juniper Networks, and we still don't know what's going to go on with that, no matter what happens after the acquisition, assuming that it's successful, it's all going to run on Central. So Central has to be ready to run on everything, everywhere. Granted, it's never going to run on a Raspberry Pi, but it needs to be ready to run in multiple different deployment scenarios to meet massive regulatory challenges, so that, the big industries, the ones that are acquisition targets for HPE, HPE Aruba Networking, and eventually Juniper Networks as well, will be satisfied with Central, because you're not going to be operating that network without it.